The human body is this incredible machine, right? It's been perfected over millions of years for one very specific place, planet Earth. So what happens when you take that machine and you throw it into the complete opposite? Well, space is that ultimate test. And it's not just about floating around. It's about a deep biological transformation that basically rewrites our bodies from the inside out.
Okay, just imagine this with me for a second. You wake up tomorrow and something just feels off. You go to stretch and you just keep stretching. Then you stand up and whoa, the top of the door frame you duck under every single day, it seems way closer. You've grown, and not just a little bit, but a full 2 inches overnight. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right?
Well, it's not science fiction, and you're not sick. It is the strange but very real reality for every single astronaut. See, in the weightless wonder of space, the human body starts this incredible metamorphosis, a series of changes so fundamental they almost feel alien. So, let's start with that first one. How on earth do you get an overnight growth spurt? It's one of the first and, frankly, most startling things astronauts notice. And the reason why is surprisingly simple.
Here on Earth, gravity is always with us. It's this invisible force that's constantly pushing down, squishing the soft, cushiony discs between all the vertebrae in our spine. But up in space, that constant pressure just goes away. For the first time, your spine is totally free. It can just relax, expand, and decompress. And we're not talking about a tiny little stretch here. Astronauts can grow up to 2 full inches taller. Can you even wrap your head around that? Suddenly your favorite pants are high waters. It's a very real and very weird side effect of living on the International Space Station. But hold on, before you start planning a trip to orbit just to get taller, I have to tell you, this amazing change is only temporary. The second astronauts get back home, gravity takes over again, and their spine gets squeezed right back down to its original size, usually within just a few days. The body adapts, and then, just as fast, it adapts right back.
Okay, growing taller, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The next change totally alters how astronauts look, and they've got a pretty great name for it. It's all about what happens when the fluids in your body basically decide to rebel.
So on Earth, gravity is like an anchor for our body's fluids. It pulls about 2 liters of it down into our legs and feet. But in 0G, that anchor is gone. All those fluids are suddenly free to just drift. And they drift upwards, moving from your legs into your chest and your head. And the result is a look that astronauts themselves have nicknamed puffy face and bird legs. It's true. Their faces get all round and puffy, and they feel like they have a head cold that just won't go away. Meanwhile, their legs get noticeably thinner. It's one of the first things you see that tells you, yeah, you're not on Earth anymore. But not all the changes are ones you can see in the mirror. Now we're going to get into one of the most serious dangers of long-term spaceflight. It's this silent, invisible threat to the very foundation of who we are. Our skeleton. Our bones are living tissue. They're constantly rebuilding themselves based on what we do. Just standing up and walking around sends a constant message to our bones. Hey, stay strong, stay dense. But in space, where you're just floating, that message goes completely silent. And our body, which is super efficient, basically thinks, well, I guess we don't need this heavy skeleton anymore, and it actually starts to break it down.
The results are pretty staggering. Astronauts can lose up to 2% of their bone density for every single month they are in space. To put that into perspective for you, an elderly person with osteoporosis might lose that much over an entire year. It's a huge problem, but there's a silver lining. By studying this in healthy astronauts, we're learning a ton about how to fight osteoporosis right here on Earth.
So, how do you fight back against this? With a serious, no-excuses workout routine. Astronauts exercise for about 2 hours every single day. They use these special resistance machines and treadmills with harnesses that basically mimic the stress of gravity. It's a daily battle to trick their bodies into staying strong, so they're ready for that crushing feeling of gravity when they come home.
All right, now for a real medical mystery. It turns out that going to space can literally, physically change the way you see the world.
Hey, remember that fluid shift that causes puffy face? Well, it turns out that same thing increases the pressure inside your skull, and that pressure can actually start to flatten the back of your eyeballs and make your optic nerve swell up. There's a name for it. It's called SANS, and for some astronauts, it causes their vision to shift, making them more farsighted, sometimes for years after they get back. And look, this is way more than just a small inconvenience. I mean, think about it. If you're an astronaut trying to land a spacecraft or read complex instruments, you need perfect vision. It's absolutely mission critical. So figuring out SANS isn't just a fun science project, it's one of the biggest hurdles we have to clear if we ever want to send people to Mars.
Our final stop on this tour of the space body is our muscles. Just like our bones, they're in this constant fight against the effortless ease of living in microgravity.
I mean, why would you walk when you can just push off a wall with one finger and glide across the room? It looks like so much fun, but for our bodies, it means our biggest muscles, the ones in our legs and our back that hold us up all day, are basically on vacation. And what happens to muscles you don't use? They get weaker, they start to shrink, and it happens fast.
And that brings us right back to that critical 2-hour daily workout. Those resistance machines are absolutely vital. They create the artificial tension the muscles need to get the signal that, hey, we're still needed here. It's really the only way to make sure that when they land back on Earth, they have enough strength to just stand on their own 2 feet.
So let's just take a step back and look at the whole picture. Your spine stretches, making you taller. Your body fluids rush to your head. Your bones start to lose density. Your vision can physically change, and your muscles begin to shrink away. This isn't just a few little tweaks, it's a complete, head-to-toe reimagining of the human body for a totally alien world.
The big takeaway here is really humbling when you think about it. Our bodies are these incredible, complex machines that are perfectly tuned for life right here on this planet. The moment we leave, we enter one of the most hostile environments imaginable, and it forces our biology to adapt in ways we're honestly still trying to figure out.
And yet, despite all of these huge, body-altering challenges, what do? We keep going. We keep building bigger rockets, dreaming of missions to other planets, and looking up at the stars with this unstoppable desire to go farther. It's like it's built into our DNA.
Which leaves us with one last really big question. All these changes we've talked about, they're temporary. They're a sign of how resilient our bodies are. But what about generations from now? What if we become a true spacefaring species with people living their whole lives on the Moon or Mars? How will the human body permanently evolve to meet that new reality? That is a future we are only just beginning to imagine.